The Supreme Court strikes down the Biden administration's vaccine mandate for large businesses. Plus, as many area school districts close because of COVID, we'll hear how Carl Junction is able to stay open. And Missouri lawmakers debate a number of bills related to abortion.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Supreme Court has delivered a blow to the Biden administration's vaccine mandate for employers, which would have required workers to get vaccinated or test weekly. This is KOAM News at 10. The ruling comes as the administration has announced a new plan to buy more at-home tests and make high-quality masks available free of charge. Reporter Natalie Brand has details.
The Supreme Court has blocked the Biden administration's vaccine or test rule for U.S. businesses less than a week after arguments before the conservative majority High Court.
The Supreme Court's decision on the OSHA mandate essentially means that in this pandemic, it is up to individual employers to determine whether their workplaces will be safe for employees.
But the justices allowed the vaccine mandate for healthcare workers at federally funded facilities. The decision comes as President Biden tries to ramp up his strategy to battle the latest COVID surge, announcing the administration will double its purchase of at-home rapid tests.
1 billion tests in total to meet future demand.
The president says a website rolling out next week will allow Americans to sign up for the first 500 million home kits for free. It's a plan aimed to ease the burden on overwhelmed testing sites and emergency rooms.
So many hospital staff are sick that we don't have enough people to take care of the patients that we have.
Starting next week, additional military medical teams will deploy to hospitals in 6 states with staffing shortages, from New York to New Mexico.
These are additional teams that were requested in December, and we're sending them out now to the hospitals that have the greatest need.
In the face of the highly transmissible Omicron variant, the president also previewed an announcement next week about making high-quality masks available for free. While some doctors believe the Omicron surge may have reached its peak in some parts of the country, the CDC says more than 99% of U.S. counties report high transmission. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
President Biden released a statement saying he's disappointed that the Supreme Court, quote, chose to block common sense life-saving requirements at large businesses. Checking in with Doug Hetty. Nice day, but change is coming eventually, Doug.
Yeah, we're going to actually have some big changes rolling in, but at least we got some nice weather ahead of it. Today was fantastic. Plenty of sunshine, 62 for a high. Started at 33 during the morning hours, almost 20 degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. But already those changes are sneaking in. We're getting the clouds starting to increase across the region. Here's our storm system. Look at the snow picking up through the Dakotas, and all this is going to slide south and east over about the next 24 hours. So by Saturday, actually by tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about moderate snow across the region and then heading into the weekend. Now out ahead of it, we do look okay. Temperatures right now, they're shaping up pretty good. I think we'll drop back into the mid-30s a little bit later on tonight. Of course, I'm going to break the system down for you here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Joplin School District becomes the latest to cancel classes tomorrow. The district sent out messages to parents today, letting them know classes are canceled tomorrow so crews can deep clean the buildings. Officials say the classes in Joplin will be made up on May 25th. As schools across the area continue to shut down due to staffing shortages, some remain open. The Carl Junction School District is among the few still holding in-person classes. Superintendent Dr. Phil Cook says the district looks at a number of factors in determining whether to close. Right now, Cook says the district has enough staff and attendance numbers still look good.
I hope that they have some trust in us and that we have a track record of making decisions based upon, like I said, common sense, what's good for our kids and what's good for our community safety.
Carl Junction is holding classes tomorrow. Other districts that have canceled say they plan to return to class generally on Tuesday following the upcoming holiday on Monday. Missouri legislators are considering a lot of big issues this session, including legislation concerning abortion. Reporter Marina Silva is at the state capitol with a breakdown of the debate.
16 bills related to abortion, and today one of those was heard in committee. It's sponsored by Representative Nick Schroer, and he tells me it's basically the same bill that was heard over the summer during special session.
Does exactly what House Bill 2 did. It fully defunds Planned Parenthood.
Representative Nick Schroer sat before the Special Committee on Government Oversight today to discuss his abortion bill. He was greeted with both supporters and opponents of the bill, which was debated for 2 hours. Representative Crystal Quaid being one who is not for the bill.
It's no secret that I myself am pro-choice, and my constituents all know that. I have never hidden that I believe that folks deserve access to health care, and that folks should have control over their own medical decisions between them and their doctor.
President Biden has been saying he wants to get rid of the Hyde Amendment, which bars federal tax dollars from paying for abortions. Representative Schroer says he doesn't want that.
This would put in a state type in statute Hyde Amendment of our own to ensure that if the Hyde Amendment is overturned, or if any action is taken by the federal government to require Missourians to fund abortion, that's not going to happen.
Representative Quaid says if this bill passes, Missouri could lose money in Medicaid funding.
We're putting upwards of $166 million in jeopardy for Medicaid funding for our state by passing this law. And so that was a big part of the discussion today.
Another thing brought up during committee: if a woman has a miscarriage and goes to get proper treatment, is that illegal? Representative Schroer tells me they were careful in writing the language so that that's not considered illegal. The other bills that have to do with abortion range from providing proper explanation to penalties for providers if they give an abortion. Reporting in the Capitol, I'm Marina Silva.
Police in Pittsburgh and the Crawford County Sheriff's Office worked together to arrest a Pittsburgh man who led officers on a chase. Authorities say officers spotted 27-year-old Sage Sprague in a car on East 21st Street and knew he had multiple outstanding warrants. When officers tried to pull the car over, that car sped away. The chase went through Pittsburgh, then left the city, which is when a sheriff's deputy joined in. Then went back into Pittsburgh before Sprague's car hit the deputy's vehicle. The chase stopped a short time later and authorities arrested Sprague. Coming up, the U.S. Army is now offering its largest enlistment bonus ever to entice recruits. Plus, the committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack subpoenas some social media giants.
Shop at Ashley Home Store.
$50,000. That's what the United States Army is now offering to entice recruits. The enlistment bonus maximum is the largest in Army history. Reporter Danya Bacchus has more.
The United States Army is upping the ante, pulling out all the stops to bring more people into its ranks.
Truth be told, it's a competitive market out there for the folks that we're trying to get to join the Army.
For the first time, the Army is offering a maximum enlistment bonus of $50,000 to high-skilled recruits who join for 6 years. In the past, enlistment bonuses could not exceed $40,000.
So this is an incentive in terms of dollar amounts that we have never seen. But we're ready to compete for that talent.
Brigadier General John Cushing is the deputy commander for the Army's recruiting command. He says the pandemic has made it difficult to bring in new soldiers through traditional routes like schools and community events.
About 2/3 of our formation in terms of recruiters across the United States Army have not done recruiting outside of COVID conditions. So we have an obligation to get out now to start selling, the Army.
The total package for a new recruit is based on a combination of incentives offered for the selected career field, qualifications, length of enlistment contract, and training start date.
Right there to be in the United States Army.
The Army is hoping the maximum $50,000 bonus will fill its nearly 150 full and part-time vacancies. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The Army is also offering some recruits the opportunity to decide where they want to be assigned after training and 2-year enlistments in 84 different career fields. The Congressional Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot is hitting social media companies with subpoenas. It comes after what they're calling inadequate responses to their voluntary requests. The subpoenas were sent to Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, and Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, YouTube, Twitter, and Reddit. Traditional chemotherapy can have devastating effects on quality of life, but a study highlights a promising alternative. Northwestern University researchers found that new combination immune therapy is more effective at extending the lives of kidney cancer patients while being less toxic to their overall health. A little bit later, an area brewing company teams up with the Joplin Humane Society to find forever homes for some pets.
Plus rain and snow right around the corner. Moving in tomorrow night. We're going to look at that coming up.
At Johnson Flooring, start planning your session. Contact me today.
Well, it turned out to be a great day for us today. Temperatures into the lower 60s during the afternoon, which, hey, we will definitely take across the region. But we do have a developing storm system, which you can start to see increasing back to our north and to our west. And that is the system that is really going to affect us as we go through about the next 36 to 48 hours. Right now, it looks fine. Here's a live shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. So we're going to be quiet tonight. We're going to be mainly quiet tomorrow. But the clouds are really thickening up. Temperatures, not bad. Mid to upper 30s to near 40 degrees. I think most of us will drop back about 35, 36 later on tonight. Sitting at 40, winds are pretty much calm. Humidity is at 77%. Look at the clouds thickening up over the past couple hours. We're not really going to see the sun tomorrow. We're not going to see it on Saturday and just finally peaking out by Sunday afternoon. But this is the beginnings of that storm system, which is brewing across the northern parts of the plains. Look at the snow. North Dakota, really from Minot, Bismarck, Livingston, Dixon, and then all the way down toward really Sioux Falls is going to pick up the snow here in the next few hours. But look how this is drifting south and east. So it's heading toward the four-state area, at least that system, as we go through the next 24 hours. By morning, cloudy skies, look at the winds. They start to crank around toward the south. So still temperatures pretty good for us tomorrow, even though we aren't going to see the sun. We start at 38, 52 by noon, high temp right around 56, southerly winds at about 5 to 10. Here's where it starts to get interesting. Let's go into tomorrow evening. Let's go to about this time tomorrow night. We have rain across the region. You can see the wind shift line here. This is what we call an inverted trough. What it does, look at all the warm air. It pulls all the way up toward Kansas City. The cold air behind it, so you can see that trough sticks all the way near I-70, all the way back towards Springfield. But after midnight, we all switch to snow, moderate, wet snow across the region. So this is after midnight. It really continues tomorrow night on the Missouri side. On the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, amounts are going to be lighter. You're just going to get periods of light snow showers. Let's go into Saturday morning. Here's the back band. Starts to rotate in. So this is late morning. We'll get light to moderate snow. Late morning into the afternoon. I think after 3 or 4 p.m., most of this snow will start to rotate out. So we know at times the snow can be moderate to heavy, but here's the good news. We were 62 today. We're going to go to 56 tomorrow. The ground's going to be warm. The air temperatures are going to hover around freezing the entire event, so it really has to snow hard to cause issues on the roadways. We may get some slushy, slick spots, but this isn't going to be a snow that immediately sticks to the roads. On the Kansas-Oklahoma side, upwards of an inch. There may be some isolated 2-inch amounts. 1 to 3, most of the metro, Pittsburgh, Nevada, all the way down to the northwestern Arkansas. We may be closer to that 3 mark, and we may have to up that tomorrow, but tonight we're going to stick. We're going to stick with the 1 to 3 across the region. 56 tomorrow, alert day Friday, 33, snow, periods of snow all day long. A little bit of sunshine by Sunday. High temp of only 37, so a cold, kind of crummy weekend.
Yeah, especially Saturday night, lows in the teens.
Yep.
Thanks, Doug. People in Joplin had a chance to responsibly enjoy a beer and responsibly adopt a pet, free of charge for both. The Chaos Brewing Company on South Main Street called the event Bark Brew. Chaos invited some pets from the Joplin Humane Society, covered the $10 adoption fee, and also offered a free beer.
We're honored. We love our Humane Society here in Joplin, so for all of us here, I think we all have dogs, love dogs. We want people to love dogs, and this just gives us a way to give back to them, we're hoping, and gives them the opportunity to show off some of their best critters, so we're all about it.
Yeah, you gotta love dogs. Look at that. The Joplin Humane Society always reminds people to think before they adopt and make sure they have resources for taking care of a pet long term. Coming up in sports, a former Pitt State wide receiver has a new home in the NFL. And the Gorillas and Missouri Southern Lions are both in action at home tonight. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
Both Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern are back on the floor tonight at home in MIAA League play. And the Gorillas host a doubleheader this evening against Emporia State. And on the women's side, PSU trying to avoid a 3-game losing streak and pick up their first win of 2022. First quarter, Tristan Gegg to Corinna Gerber. 25 assists for PSU tonight. Here, Sydney Crane beats the clock, drains the 3 to close out the first quarter. 10 points, 8 assists tonight for Crane. Then Erin Davis, corner 3 for the senior. She scores 12. And right before the break, Gegg, another triple. It's 46-29 Gorillas at halftime. To the third now, Davis to Gerber. The freshman, double-double, career-high 19 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Back to Tristan Gegg, though. 17 tonight for the Labette County High School product. Pitt State rolls by Emporia State 82-56. In their first game in 10 days.
We really went hard at practice. You said 10 days. I didn't realize it was that long. 10 days of not playing. We had people out for COVID, so we were only down to 9 practicing for about 4 days. So it was hard, but it was good what we needed. And we watched a lot of film on bad culture on our past games, and we lost 3 in a row. So I think that us having the best culture we've had for this game really boosted us up to win by that much. So it was an awesome team win.
As for the PSU men, they're 3-5 in the MIAA, trying to climb closer to 500 against the Hornets. They got off to a good start. Isaiah James, corner 3. Gorillas up 7-3 early. Minutes later, though, Brendan Van Dyke. Look at this, jams home his own miss. Hornets grab their first lead. It was back and forth for a while. Other end, 3-ball kept Pitt State in it for a while. Dejon Waters connects from deep. Then James again. Isaiah James gets a team-high 17 points. The final 3 minutes of the first half, that was the key. Trey Buchanan beats the buzzer. Hornets outscore the Gorillas 14-1 in the final 3.5 minutes of the first half. And they don't look back. PSU falls in this one 74-59. The Missouri Southern Lions welcome in the Washburn Ichabods this evening. Now, the Southern women are aiming for back-to-back wins after beating Northeastern State just 2 days ago. Now, the Lions are 8-5, including a 5-3 mark in the MIAA coming into the night. Early on, Amaya Johns hits a 3 for the Lions. Johns gets 15 tonight. Southern stepping out again, Haley Grant. Great night for her, 12 points, 13 rebounds. The second half, Washburn trying to stick around. Hunter Bentley knocks it down. Ichabods within 7, but the Lions would finish it off. This is Brooke Stauffer knocking down the 3. They're up 17 late. Southern, big win over Washburn, 69-50.
Haley was huge. She came in as far as rebounding. She was going up and getting. She was chasing rebounds. I told her there at the end of the game, I said, that's the kid I recruited out of high school because she has that capability.
This one felt really good. I think this is my first win against Washburn since being here, so it felt good to finally get a win at home. It's nice to get back rolling and playing our style of basketball.
To the men now, big one for the Lions against Washburn, aiming for their 3rd straight win. Here in the first, Lions moving the ball around. Winston Desasau hits the uncontested 3. He gets 15. On the move here, Stan Scott. I love Stan Scott, Ducks fan. Monster Jam, he's also in double figures. MSSU getting the energy up in the first half. Big man outside for Washburn, Jeremy Harrell. Knocking down the 3, then MSSU in transition. It's Avery Taggart finishing, but Washburn goes on to win this one 87-72. Former Pittsburgh State wide receiver John Brown has a new home in the NFL. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed the former PSU All-American to their practice squad today. Now, Brown, who's been in the league for 8 years, is reunited with head coach Bruce Arians, who was Arizona's head coach when they drafted Brown in the 3rd round in 2014. Now, while it is good news for one local standout, unfortunately it's bad news for another. To make room for Brown on the practice squad, the Buccaneers released running back Darwin Thompson today. Now, Thompson is a former NEO Gold Endorsement and was a 6th-round pick by the Kansas City Chiefs in 2019. He is now a free agent. In the AFC, Kansas City Chiefs kick off the playoffs this weekend. The Chiefs host the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday night in the 1st round. Now, as is tradition, or at least it is for the last few years. Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is a hot name when it comes to open head coaching jobs in the league. Now, there are potentially 8 teams in the market for a new head coach. Now, Bieniemy talked about that today and the potential distractions that go along with it ahead of the postseason.
It's always good to be mentioned. And the thing about it, you don't allow it to become a distraction because first and foremost, I have a job. Second of all, we got a big game this up and coming weekend. And that's the most important thing, to take care of business at hand and to focus on the now. All that stuff is going to take care of itself. And do not get me wrong, I am blessed and I am very fortunate to be a part of that chatter, to be a part of some of the things that are taking place. But right now, my focus is to make sure that we're ready to go out and play a 60-minute consecutive game where we can go out there and play hard and play fast, but more importantly, to play for each other.
That Chiefs game against the Steelers kicks off at 7:15 on Sunday night. Kansas City, by the way, 12.5-point favorite heading into the weekend. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Leon Sexton served in the U.S. Army from 1941 to 1967. The Spring City, Missouri native was stationed in Japan, Korea, and Vietnam. He received a Silver Star, 4 Bronze Stars, and 2 Purple Hearts. And we salute Colonel Leon Sexton, a 4-state hero. We're always looking for more heroes to honor. If you know of one, just drop us a line, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, it's going to be okay tonight, but changes are coming, Doug.
Yeah, by this time tomorrow night, part of the viewing area is going to be having snow. Most of the day tomorrow, just cloudy, 56. Rain picks up tomorrow evening. Snow picks up, especially after midnight tomorrow night. And then periods of snow and cold and windy on Saturday.
So windy with emphasis.
Yeah.
Sports note.
We told you freshman Corinna Gerber had a double-double tonight for Pittsburgh State. It's her second career double-double already. She did it against Tabor 2 weeks ago.
Impressive. Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.
Salon service is provided.